Today I'm going to show you how to play that real sexy lob shot, that one that flies high, stops real quick, loaded with spin. It's really going to help your game when you're short-sided like this one here. Make sure you check out this video. So what you'll have seen there is a ball flight had loads of spin on it. So it landed and stopped within less than a yard, right? It was pretty much bang, stop, dead. Do I need to play this shot that often? Not really. Do I want to play it? Well, it looks great if you can pull it off with your mates. It might be a shot you play in certain situations. Are you going to play it in medal rounds? Well, it depends how good you are. If you practice a little bit with it, sure, why not? But this isn't going to take over my normal chip and run, my normal pitch shot. But there are some real simple things that you can try and learn from this. Now, I was watching a little while back Tiger play with his son Charlie in the father and son championship. And you may well have seen this clip of Tiger hitting that little zippy lob shot where he really tried to finish with his hands very close to his hip and the club vertical. And that's what really inspired this video. I started playing around and trying to hit some of those shots myself and finishing here. And what can we learn from that? Well, we really want to be releasing the golf club when we're trying to hit it high. We don't want shaft lean. That is great when we're hitting an iron shot. That's amazing when we're hitting a punch shot, low driven, that kind of thing here. But when we're talking about bunker play, lob shots, high pitching, where we want lots of elevation, lots of spin, we want to actually allow that club to feel like it's catching up with our hands, and therefore the club shaft would feel more or finish more vertical. Now Tiger actually almost cut across the ball and finished with his hands near his left pocket as well. So he's actually creating almost a little bit more speed sliding across the golf ball, getting that ball running across the club face. Definitely had that face open, definitely got that ball running across the face and definitely released that golf club. So even if you don't play it quite this extreme, there's some key points I want you to take away. Now, this does not work if you're a player where your pressure isn't on your lead foot enough. So what you may have seen with that shot I was playing there is I actually rolled my trail foot inwards a little bit. So my trail knee was a little bit closer towards my lead knee, and I'm trying to start with a lot more pressure onto my lead foot, because this only really goes wrong when the player is starting to tilt back. You almost can't get enough onto that lead foot. Now the strange thing is, although I want you onto that lead foot, I do not want the hands forwards, and they tend to go hand in hand. You ask someone to put their pressure forwards and they move the hands forwards. I want you to push the pressure forwards but the handle back, and that is going to feel a little strange, almost like patting your head, rubbing your tummy. Yes, that was the right way around. In that way, let me go ahead and see if I can hit one. So pressure's really on that lead side. Handle is back. I have opened the face before I grip it. And I'm really trying to feel like there's a lot of throw, a lot of speed here, where I'm allowing that club to catch up with the hands. Okay, so the speed isn't in this way, dragging in the handle. The speed is in throwing that club. And you can see that's going to encourage you to finish a lot more vertical. So let's give it a go. That felt great. Now, the trouble here, again, you can see it stopped dead, is my control of distance is a little off if I haven't practiced a whole lot. I mean, they weren't too far. My direction, I've hit two quite different looking pitch shots, haven't I? One where it's a little left of the pin, one where it's a little right. However, they flew high and stopped very quick. Because I am opening the club face, you would expect this ball to come out a little bit, for me as a right-hander, to the right of the target. So we may need to offset that and aim a little bit more to the left, which I obviously didn't do enough of in that one. Now, in a bunker shot, that's not true. We don't need to aim so far left because we're not hitting the golf ball. We're hitting the sand. But when we are obviously off turf, there is some ball interaction here. Obviously, I haven't got that layer of sand getting trapped between the club and the ball, so it is going to affect the direction. So I'd need to aim a little bit more left if I'm going to open that face up. But very happy with that. Again, pressures onto that lead foot, handles back, and I'm feeling like there's a lot of throw speed, meaning that club finish is nice and vertical. Now, Tiger finishing towards his left hip, he was almost cutting across the ball. A lot of golfers, when they cut across the ball, they're getting their hands forwards. As long as we cut across and again we are throwing, that's fine. And we can generate a little bit more spin that way. So pressure forwards, club face open. A little speed here. I'm going to aim a touch further left. A little speed here. So that one flew too long. And that was because I actually caught the ground a little early. You may have heard it. There was a bit of a ba-bum. It worked okay because I used the bounce of the golf club. I've elevated that club here, but if it's a tight lie, it's going to come out way too hot. If there's some grass under the ball, it might well work okay because we're activating the bounce and we're getting that club to slide. But what would I do if I want a slightly cleaner contact? I would just get a little bit more onto my lead foot. I didn't feel quite as much there, so aim left. Let's get more onto my lead side with my pressure and hit one more. There we go. So all I did was more pressure onto that lead foot, and hey presto, improving that quality of contact. As I said at the start there, you almost can't overdo how much pressure's onto that lead side. So pressure forwards, hands back, and feel like there's a more throw in there. Now, as I said at the start, this isn't a shot you're going to play that regularly. I would look to, well, could I hit something a little lower? Could I run it in there? Could I hit some sort of other shot that's going to perhaps be a bit more, or definitely going to be more consistent? But this is that real sexy shot that you could show off with, and you might play more in a Stapleford competition, maybe more in a scramble, maybe more in a match play situation than a medal round. But it depends on how good you are at it. If you practice it, you know, great. We can get good at this, of course we can. And there is a time for it. Now, you may not take all of this to your pitch shot, but what could you take if you want a little bit more elevation? Well, one, adding some loft, great. 2, setting more pressure onto that lead foot. 3, making sure the handle is back, not forwards. So even if I play more of a regular pitch shot from a squarer stance, not trying to cut across the ball here, but I have opened that face, set the pressure left and move the handle back, I can create a higher, softer pitch shot. And actually was my one that nearly went in there, was the closest to the target. So I didn't need to play it quite as high as I was playing those first few, but it was a demonstration. It was a purpose of, well, let's get that max elevation, that max height. Obviously, if the pin was closer to me or the green was more above me, I'd want even more height like those first couple. But practice the extremes, and then you'll be able to kind of minimize it or rein it in a little bit to perhaps some of those more regular pitch shots. And this is also going to help your bunker play because same key points, pressure left, handle back, more throw of the club. If you can do that, it's really going to help lob shots, high pitching bunker shots. If that video has helped, make sure you hit the thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Right now, YouTube is suggesting the next video of mine that's relevant to you is just here. Click on it and check it out.